Welcome, folks. Welcome. I'll wait a few minutes to let y'all get in here. Let me make sure it's live. This is a little awkward because you guys can see that Tony and Kenyon are on the screen with me. So the weird thing is, y'all gonna see this happen a lot. I'm looking at the camera, so I'm looking at you guys. I'm weird about that. I'll give y'all a side story. When I watch people do videos and stuff, I'm always saying they're not looking at the camera. Like when people be looking this way, I don't get how that happens when I'm looking right at y'all, right? But the weird thing is, I'm gonna be looking this way to see Tony and Kenyon because they on the screen right here. I can't see them through my camera. Just wanted to give y'all a heads up because me and Tony, and I'm sure Kenyon the same way. When you talk to people, you look at people. So naturally, I'm gonna look at them to see their reactions and things like that. So just giving y'all a heads up. But anyway, welcome everybody. We're going to be real quick with this as far as doing the intro because as you can see, another Steel Table discussion. Got Kenyon and Tony on. They on camera. And I know, let's call a spade, guys. It's weird. Some people really just want to see what y'all look like. Like this, I get this all the time doing YouTube stuff. Before I was on camera, man, I just want to know what you look like. I'm like, okay. Here it is. So there go Kenyon, there go Tony. I know y'all have seen them before, but some of you guys are new viewers that never seen them. So there you go. Ladies, pump your brakes. That's all I'm going to say to the brothers. But anyway, man, what's up, everybody? Let's jump right in and say hello to some very special people, you guys who comment early, and then we're going to jump right in. Oh, somebody said no sound. Hold on. No sound? No sound. One person said that, so I'm wondering if it's just... All right, y'all know what we do, guys. I see somebody laughing, so that Railfax is laughing at my comments, so apparently y'all can hear me, but if y'all can confirm that really quick, then we'll keep it moving. Y'all should be able to hear me, though, from what I'm seeing on my end. So if you guys can hear me, I got to go back up here and say, Patrick Knox, I'm not sure what's happening with your sound, man. Everybody said they can hear me. All right, cool. So, yeah, Pat, I don't know what's going on, man. I wish it was something I could help with, but apparently it may be on your end. Hopefully you can get that worked out or what have you. But what's up to Patrick Knox, Sasquatch? Hello, Miss Debbie. How you doing this evening? Shadow Slayer, Daryl Dukes, Vista Light, Railfax. Who else in here? Quick. Leonard Green. Hello, Miss Lanisha. How you doing this evening? Who else? Quick. Rajon 39. C. Antoine Hill. C. Antoine, we gonna cover what you were putting in here in the chat, with the whole Mason versus Haskins thing. Don't worry, we gonna go there. King 419. And let's look further down to see if there's any more ladies in the chat. We want to say hello to them. If not, hate to leave you guys out, but we gotta go because y'all know when all of us are here, we like to get our talk on. Y'all enjoy it, so I don't want to waste no time. There's Odessa. Hello, Miss Odessa. How you doing? All right, guys, let's get into it. We got a lot to talk about. I'm gonna let y'all know a quick preview of what we will talk about. Maybe we'll hit all of these topics. Maybe we won't. Y'all know how it goes. I do plan to take a few phone calls here and there, but just to give you guys the preference, everything early. Can't promise how many calls we'll take because it'll be in between time. But we're definitely going to talk about Matt Canada. Maybe we'll save that for a little bit near the end. He's the featured topic. That's why I got him in the thumbnail. Tight end coach, Surratt leaving, as well as, what's the guy's name? Tom Bradley. Because, Kenyon and Tony weren't on last week to give their opinions on that. No quarterback coach at the moment, as well as no offensive line coach. We'll talk a little bit about that. Senior Bowl and the reports that the Steelers are looking into Najee Harris, Duck Hodges signing with the Chargers, and of course, Dwayne Haskins, the signing of Dwayne Haskins and what that means for the Steelers depth chart, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm going to step out the way first, man. I'm going to throw it to you guys. I will ask, Kenyon or Tony, what topic do you guys think we should approach first? Where y'all want to go first, and then we'll go from there.
Go ahead, King.
What's on you? I'm the closer. I don't care. Every topic,
Yeah.
I'm ready for every topic.
Okay. Well, I guess.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Tony. You want to get Duck out the way? Something
we just want to
easy.
get Duck out the way. Yeah,
Get
that's
Duck on
easy
out the
right
way.
there.
What's your
Yeah,
thoughts on Duck getting signed, man?
Man, I'm glad to see Duck just be able to be, to be able to land somewhere. I think Duck did a pretty good job for a person that was a undrafted free agent. That came in and got some experience. Not going to say he's going to start, but he's going to be on the team. I thought Duck had a lot of moxie. He had a lot of confidence. I mean, just it's not easy in the NFL. Doing what he did on the team. I mean, that was a lot of pressure to come to a franchise like ours and try to perform in front of that crowd that we have.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just happy for him. I'm happy that he's getting to go somewhere to, perhaps, he's going to be sitting there 3 quarterbacks back, but hopefully, he get an opportunity to compete, probably for a backup, But that's it for what I have for Duck.
Yeah, I don't have much on it, man, so I'll let Kenyon close it. Basically, I'll say this about it. I'm just happy. Look, man, these guys are young. They have an opportunity to play sports and make some money, so I'm happy for them in that regard. And like Tony said, for those reasons, I hope that he's able to stay on the squad and get that veteran salary. So for that, I'm rooting for him there. But other than that, I mean, hey, I'm just happy the brother can still play, man. But I think he served his purpose with us. Let's be fair. Let's be honest. But that's all I got on it, man. Congratulations to him, though. At least his career is still going. What you got, Kenyon?
Good luck.
That's it. That's it. Yeah.
Short and sweet.
I don't know what y'all want me to
luck,
say.
Duck.
I don't know. Good luck, Duck. I don't know what y'all want me to say.
Oh man. Well,
He didn't. I mean, he didn't. We wasn't on. I mean, he didn't do anything. I mean, you know what I mean? He wasn't on my team, on that team, long enough for me to have some type of feel some type of way. I'm happy. I mean, I'm glad he's got a new job, but he was on practice squad. I didn't even see him last year. So,
yeah.
I mean, come on. Good luck. Get that pension.
Yeah, get that pension, man. Good luck to him.
Yeah. Right.
Easy topic. We can breeze on past that.
Oh yeah.
So I guess the next thing, man, hold on real quick, guys. I had to put my keyboard down because I need to get a bigger desk, by the way. I got 2 monitors and all this junk. But anyway, and my 7-year-old son here, I don't know if y'all can hear him in the background. He's trying to get me to look at him. He doesn't understand what's going on here. Go ahead, man. Sorry about that, y'all. But the next topic, Vance Mcdonald, and I appreciate whoever that was, man, in the comments who reminded me. I did forget about Vance Mcdonald retiring. I'll go ahead. I guess I'll kick it off, man. Then we'll throw it to Tony, and then Kenya can wrap it up. Biggest thing that concerns me is now, if you guys really think about it, there's not anyone really there that's known as a blocking tight end. So it kind of changes up the scope now as far as the draft. I think we probably were going to automatically go tight end at some point. Maybe it's a little sooner now. Could be as early as 24. I know that's crazy, but could be, depending on who's there. We'll talk about Najee Harris later, but I got a feeling Kenyon is going to probably bring those expectations back down to earth as far as the first round. 1 second, y'all. Sometimes you just gotta take care of your business with the little one. But yeah, man, I think for sure that is something to keep an eye on. Vance Mcdonald was a good blocker. He got a little better with his tenure with us. He was probably our toughest tight end, because honestly, Ebron is more finesse. Gentry, to me, he's too tall to be a finesse type of tight end. I don't think we're ever going to see that from him. However, that Raider kid, or Radar, however you pronounce his name, he did look like he showed some promise later in the season, so we'll see. But
Yeah, Raider. Yeah, Kevin Raider.
Same thing that Kenyon kind of said about Duck. Not as short and sweet, but I will still share the sentiment. Good luck to him, man. I'm never knocking a player for retiring when they can, when they're healthy, made a little money. It is what it is. I think he's close to 30, or if not 30 now. So good luck to him. But it definitely leaves a hole as far as our offense. So I'm curious to see where we would go as far as, what area of the draft we might address the tight end spot. But that's all I got. What you got on it, Tony?
Wow. Yeah, we're gonna miss that blocking aspect of Vance Mcdonald. If you remember in the playoff game and many other games, you saw basically he came in and was a tough blocker, and Eric Ebron went out to get most of the passes. So we definitely gonna need a blocker. I mean, I'm not sure as far as how Radar is. Um, is he going to be as consistent? I know we still have Zach Gentry, and I know that he's another, receiver type tight end. But I don't see. I'm not sure if Radar is going to be like a Matt Spate. We had Matt Spate for years, and he was an excellent blocker. Also, he was almost like he was another offensive lineman. Just how he was able to block and stuff. So we definitely going to need a tight end. And, I'm a miss Vance McDonald with that wicked stiff arm. I thought he was really.
I'll never forget that moment. Never.
That was a wicked stiff arm right there. So that's the aspect of the toughness that I love to see in our tight ends. You look at Keith Miller and Mark Bruner. You want to see that type of tight end on your team that's able to block when we used to have the bus. Remember on the line, Bruner was on the line. We had the bus and he was running the ball. So we're gonna need that. So hopefully we can pick somebody up like that. And I know you're gonna address that. Two of those tight ends. So the floor is open for you, brother.
Look, I'm gonna miss Vance. Vance was very productive for us.
Right.
I'll miss the stiff arm as everybody else was. It's a great play. It's a great play in Steeler history. You kind of always remember that play. But he was really I guess he was technically he was our second best blocking tight end because I think Kevin Rader was the best blocking tight end from what people were saying. But Vance kind of, not that he was phased out. I just think that once they got Ebron, they didn't use him the same way. And he kind of made the conversion to say, I'll just block. I'll help in the run game, that's a teammate. That's a good teammate. It's a great teammate that does that. But as far as the future, I mean, the Steelers have signed 2 future contract tight ends. One was in camp last year, Dax Raymond. But I do know that tight end will be a heavy priority for the Steelers in this draft coming up. I don't know if they would address it in the first round or the second round. I've said before that if I was picking the tight end I would have first on my list, on my pre-draft list would be Pat Friarmuth, because he's just complete. He can do everything. He can block, he can receive. He's tough. Kind of in the Heath Miller, baby Gronk mode, if you want to call him that. He's a willing blocker. He wants to block, those are all positives.
That's Penn State, right?
Yeah, that's Penn State. Penn State kid. Yeah, played a little bit this season, but had shoulder surgery, so he's out. He just kind of wrapped it up. And then there's the rookie, I'm calling it now, Lotto Stud, that everybody loves, which is Kyle Pitts. Thing with Kyle Pitts is he's Eric Ebron. He's just a better version of Eric Ebron. And he won't be there by the time 24 hits. He might not make it out of top 10. Like, that's how he's ranked the 3rd rated prospect in this draft. So that just tells you how valuable he is. It's just so funny because I told Sim and Tony this before the season about Kyle Pitts. I told him to watch the game. I told him about Kyle Pitts, but I also knew that he would not be there wherever we picked, because I said, there's no way. He's killing everybody. He's a matchup nightmare. He's what Tomlin would call a combat catcher. He catches all those balls. He can run away from you. He doesn't have the dropsies like Eric Ebron has, like those lack of concentration moments. He doesn't have that. He's just a stud, but his value is way up. He won't be there at 24. If you drafted him, you would not have a blocking tight end. And if you draft somebody like that, you have to cut Eric Ebron because it just makes no sense because he's just a better version of him. But the most complete tight end, the guy who can do all of it, would be Pat Friarmuth. And there's another tight end out of Boston College that's in my notes. I can't think of his name, but it'll come to me. But he's another guy that he's at the Senior Bowl this week that can really block. So there are like two that I like. But Friarmuth, he may be able to get. He may drop to the second round because he didn't play. Mm-hmm. So he didn't play a lot. So he may drop. But I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, I know everybody's in love with Kyle Pitts. I'm in love with him, but he's not going to be there. I mean, you're talking about a surefire. He's not going to be there top 15. That guy's going to be gone. And I would not trade up for him. I'm not wasting no picks this year on no tight ends. So, that's all I have on that. And, I just wish Vance the best. He contributed to us, but now there's a hole there. You have to replace it. As far as Zach Gentry goes, we don't know who he is. I mean, right. He might not make the team. I mean, there's always the possibility, Detroit could cut Jesse James. It's a whole new regime in there. And I guess if you want to bring Jesse James back and, get him on a, minimum contract, something like that, and you want to put him on the team, I mean, that's cool too. But I think they need to address that position for the future. Not so much for, not so much for a quick fit. So, I mean, that's my thoughts on those players. I would say to look at tape at Friarmuth if you can. Look at Kyle Pitts. It speaks for itself, but Friarmuth he's a complete tight end. He looks like a Steeler. That's just the best way I could put it. Kyle Pitts doesn't look like a Steeler. He looks like a Lamborghini that you pull off the lot and you just roll down the highway. You know what I mean? It's just pretty. You know what I mean? But I don't know if I don't know if that fits what we're doing. But we don't know what we're doing because of new offensive coordinator, which we will get to. So, there you go.
Man, it's funny how sometimes when we talk, it's like we all in each other's head. My very next comment was just about to be, do y'all think, and we'll get to Canada in a little while, but do you think with having a new OC, will the tight end be as important to the run game? Because I did see somebody in here say, they would prefer not to get Pitts if he was there because of our run game. But then it made me think, do you need a tight end to be able to run the football? That's the Steelers traditionally has done that. But, what do you guys think? Is that something that's required? What if, we throw some more flash out there where we're not really going to rely on the tight end and we go with a guy like Pitts if he's sitting there at 24? So that's something to think about too.
No, because if you remember from what I sent you guys the other day of watching that Matt Canada offense, there was two tight ends. Man. It was heavy tight ends. I wish you could pull that up. I wish you could pull that up. I meant to tell you that. But if you watch how that offense works, he uses those tight ends. He uses them just in the motions that he uses. So the tight end is very important. And I think you need both types of tight ends for that offense. You understand what I'm saying? Sim and Tony, you need both. You need the guy who can block, but you also need the guy who can receive. And I'm gonna tell you. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Oh no, you can finish. No, go. No. I was just gonna say, I know they are a totally different team because of how much they run the ball. But you think of somebody like the Ravens that have all of those tight ends that can, I'm losing his name right now, 89 and
Andrews.
Andrews, Andrews, and then the guy that hurt his leg. Those guys, they had three different tight ends, and they was doing just different things. Just when you thought that you was locking on.
What's the big boy name too that they let go? I think Atlanta has him now. I think
Not Toya Malu, not the big kid.
Oh no.
No, you talking about the guy that we was gonna pick up, but then they jumped in front of us and picked him up one time.
Cannot remember his name now.
I forget.
Hurst.
Yeah, I know.
Hurst.
Hurst. Yeah. Hayden, you talking? Yeah,
Hayden Hurst. Yeah.
Hayden Hurst. Yeah.
Golly, Ravens had all them boys.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, it's like you said, they could do different. Like that was on my mind when we were talking. Before we came on, I was going to ask you to throw that video up of Matt Canada's offense.
Yeah,
because it's so much movement. It's so much movement. I mean, it was beautiful the way. It can flow if everything came together. So I think, like you said, Kenya, I think it's very important.
Yeah, you can't. And then one thing about the Ravens offense, which is really unique compared to any offense in the NFL, is that their offense is RPO heavy, but they're not really trying to pass a lot.
Right.
Like their passing is predicated on them being able to run the ball effectively, and they can beat you like that. You know what I mean? Lamar Jackson isn't a guy that, you don't want the Ravens. You want the Ravens in 3rd and 14, and you can just play zone, and and make him have to make throws. You know what I mean? Right. Because he's not as effective. So their offense is based on basically running the ball because Lamar is such a great runner with the running backs that they have. So it just works. It's just a perfect fit for that. You know what I mean? Steelers necessarily can't do that because Ben's not running anywhere. You know what I mean? Right. Ben doesn't even do quarterback sneaks. So he's not running. So it's basically you have to fit the offense to what you want to do, which is whenever Sim pulls up that video, it's actually there's another part to it that I have to ask you guys, but I want them to see the video, then I'll ask my question. So
yeah, I might pull it up when we probably be fitting to pull it up when we officially talk about Canada.
Right. So I'm gonna wait for that because there's a part to it that's interesting because with that offense, and I can actually ask you guys this question. With that offense, the Steelers' future quarterback will be a mobile quarterback because he's the OC now. It just confirms everything that we were talking about. You know what I mean? A while ago. By him being the OC, the mobile quarterback will be the Steelers' future quarterback. He doesn't have to necessarily be Lamar Jackson, whatever, but he has to be mobile to run those sets that Matt Canada wants to run.
That's right.
And it is what it is. So whether it's this draft or next draft or the draft after, they're going to have to get a mobile guy because I don't think you can run that offense effectively with him being the OC. And, the Steelers, they usually don't lose OCs like that. They kind of, so he'll be here 3 to 4 years, you know what I mean? So the next quarterback will have to be a mobile guy. And I don't see, well, I know Mason won't be there because this will be his last year. And as far as Dwayne Haskins goes, I don't even know if Dwayne Haskins gonna make the team. So
good segue.
so as a matter of fact, it's my bad, everybody. I call him Dwayne Haskins. He's number 3 because he hasn't done anything. You know what I mean? So until he does something for me, he is number 3 on my squad. You know what I mean? He has replaced 48. He has replaced he's replaced Artie always getting Burns. And so, he's number 3. So I don't know how you look at it, but I just think the Steelers, if their future quarterback will be that. And in this draft, I see maybe 2 that I would even talk about, but we'll talk about that too because I got something else on that. So next topic is the floor is yours, Sam.
Yeah, man. I'll pick right up there, and then we can throw it to Tony, and then I guess it can come back to me since you kind of already spoke on Dwayne Haskins. I'll be brief with that. Look, man. My point, and I might have addressed it last week. I can't remember, but I'll be brief. Yeah, I did address it. You're not losing anything, in my opinion. Right. I think, Alex Kazur did a great job, from Steelers Depot, summing that up on their show. It's a no-risk situation, in a way. We need a number 3. It pretty much lets us know that Josh Dobbs is probably not going to re-sign. Let him test free agency. Which one of those guys are better? Flip a coin. You know, Josh Dobbs has shown better movement, of course, you know, and probably smarts. You know, we know his history as far as him being a brainiac. But at the end of the day, I mean, whether y'all like it or not, Mason Rudolph is the number 2. Will Dwayne Haskins have an opportunity to overtake him? We'll see. You know, and another point that was made that how is camp going to be again this year? You know, with COVID still lingering around, who knows? You get him at the minimum. Just maybe, Tomlin and whoever the quarterback's coach will be in Canada and whoever else Ben, knowing he's on his way out, maybe they can coach him up. I don't know. You know, maybe there is still talent there. You know, Kenyon always reminds Tony and I, like, look, man, and it should be self-explanatory, but sometimes we all have to sit back and see the truth. Sometimes players are just nice in college, and they just don't pan out in the NFL. I believe that, and then I also believe there's talent in there. It's just, will it translate? We don't know. So far in Washington, it just didn't. It didn't look like it did, and I know some people will throw him a bone and say, maybe it wasn't the right system, yada, yada, yada. Maybe you're right, but we'll see. And it further cements what Kenyon said a long time ago. We're not drafting a quarterback in 2021. Maybe, but I doubt it. Didn't cost as much. Why not? Maybe we can, pull something out of him and then we can keep him around for another year. I don't know. We'll see. And that's kind of how I feel about it, man. I mean, look, at the worst case scenario, like I always say, with Steelers players, I will give my frustration as far as if the team does something I don't like. But at the bottom line, I'm going to root that whoever we bring on the team from the bottom to the top, they do good. It's only good for us. So I'm not going to sit here and kick him in the face and, oh, man, da-da-da. He's on the team so far. Now, great point, right. Kenyon. Does he make the team? We don't know. But
yeah,
that's how I feel. What you think, Tony, man? Was it worth it? Was it dumb? Does it hurt us? Help us?
I thought, just what Tomlin is doing, number 1 pick, you got to kick the tires. He comes from a Power 5 school. He's kicking the tires on it. I mean, just like what you said,
yeah.
We don't know if he's going to make it or not. But I look at it maybe a little different than some people might say, well, Ron Rivera came in, and they had a pretty good culture. I look at our culture. We have a lot of veterans on the team. The stuff that he was pulling down there, they're going to help him out a little bit here, because if you look at the Redskins have a team full of let's just say it, a lot of number 1s, because why? They've been bums for years. I just want to be honest with you.
That's a fact.
They've been hot garbage for years, and I'm not going to even go into some of the things that they've been talking about the Steelers.
Man.
All the Steelers gone downhill, picking up Dwayne Haskins, and I'm telling them to slow their roll. We've been doing it for 50 years. Y'all just all of a sudden now, y'all get to a playoff. All of a sudden in 1 year, now you guys are like the you know what I mean? The cream of the crop, like you the standard or something. I just think that they are going to kick the tires on. But what if he turns out to be pretty good? I mean, it doesn't hurt.
Don't hurt.
It doesn't hurt. I mean, and like you said, we're not going out to get a quarterback this year, because why? Ben Roethlisberger is coming back. So we're not even forced to have to go and get a quarterback. So, I mean, you never know. We might get a guy, what is he, 6'5", 2 something. I'm not sure how mobile he is all the way, but hey, why not? That's all I had with that one.
Somebody said character issues. You know what? You gotta, yeah. I'm gonna throw a funny out there.
Uh-huh.
I think I know where Dwayne Haskins was in his little rendezvous. I'm just saying. He's in D.C., and anybody that's in the DMV, D.C. area, most of y'all would know what spot is the spot. It's a young kid. Listen, man, sometimes the private dances, if you will, is just going to attract the young boys, man. It's just – But at the same time, I'm gonna have a little faith in the culture in Pittsburgh. Let's not forget,
Yes.
And Tony, I think Tony mentioned this to me and Kenyon offline. Tomlin and the crew had held AB in check for a long time. Like they hid that, So we've dealt with character stuff. I mean, we've dealt with Martavis Bryant too, and I don't know if that's a good example, but I think it'll be fine. And again, it's minimal risk, so I'm not too worried about it as if this guy was going to be our franchise quarterback. I'm not so worried about character issues with a guy further down the roster.
Right.
Like Tony said, man, kicking the tires.
Yep.
Anything else you want to add to it, Kenyon? I know you breezed over it, but was there anything else that may have sparked in your mind while we was talking there?
No, I mean, Haskins is like you guys said, he's a low risk signee.
Yeah.
I'm just be honest with you. I'm not expecting anything because you have to understand how far you have to fall to be a top 3 pick to on the street to signing a minimum futures contract.
That's sad, bro.
I want everybody to understand what I'm saying. Think about that. You were a top 3 pick, which means you were the chosen one. You were the next franchise guy. You were on the street 2 years later. His off-field habits, that's not what got him, cut. What got him cut was his on-field, his professionalism, not coming to meetings, not knowing the playbook, not understanding certain things. These are things, when you walk into the league in that situation when you're a top 5 pick, you're supposed to do that. You know what I mean? He should have been there before everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He should have been there. He should have been there on the running the treadmill at 5 a.m. And, you know what I mean? Real talk and knowing his playbook.
Right.
So my expectations for him are nothing. I don't care. He's number 3 and he's in the right place. He's the number 3 quarterback and he's number 3. So, and when I see if he does something, great. It is what it is. The Steelers have to transition and find their next guy. And I know Steelers fans want to hope, and you hope he's a good player, great player. But as I've told Sim and as I've told Tony, which Ohio State quarterback that's coming to the NFL has actually been great.
Yeah.
I just want one. I just want one.
Yeah.
If you can name me one guy, then we can have a discussion. You can't name me one guy that's been great.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
we'll see what Fields do.
We'll see what he does. You know what I mean? So my thing is always, it's when you get picked where you get picked at, you got to make the best of your situation. And if people say, well, the system wasn't right for him, or he wanted to go to this particular team, or he hoped they draft him. Okay, well, Aaron Rodgers wanted to go in the top 10 and he fell to 24, wherever he fell. And the Green Bay Packers selected him. And I'm pretty sure Aaron Rodgers thought he was going to the San Francisco 49ers because he said this in numerous occasions.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And he went to Green Bay. You make the best of your situation and you just ball out. And that's what you do. So my expectations for Dwayne Haskins are nothing. They are what they are. You know what I mean? And I wish him the best. He's on our squad now. I have to root for him. I'm actually mad at Leonard because, you're infecting our team with your players because that's your squad. But that's a whole nother discussion. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's all I got on Dwayne Haskins. That's pretty much it.
Leonard, we got to make pick a little fun with you. Let's see what else we got here, man. This is brief, but I mentioned it last week, so I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on it. I'll get you all's thoughts. Sean Charette leaving, man. We don't have an OL yet, offensive line coach. Do you think him leaving Tony and Kenyon is going to hurt? Or are you, happy that somebody else is going to get a crack at it? And do you think that is the end-all, be-all with the offensive line? Because people have said to me, we don't have a good blocking scheme. And I always challenge that because I always listen, guys. I'm telling you, I don't know everything there is to know about NFL football. I just know some football, right? But I don't know. I don't know if it's the scheme. I don't know if y'all are looking at it that detail where you could say the blocking scheme is bad. How y'all know that? And
Right.
explain the first 5 or 6 games when we were rushing for 100 yards. What was going on then? So it's
Right.
What's your thoughts on that, Tony, man? Is it a big loss? Are you happy that we'll get somebody else? And do you think the coach itself is going to make that much more of a difference with the run game?
I would just say, you think that we would, okay, I want to ask you guys a question. How much do you guys miss Landry?
Oh, God.
The quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
so
maybe we win a couple more games last season. Perhaps.
Yeah, with Landry. You're right.
Perhaps.
You're right. Okay. But like you said, we didn't see anything as far as that. And like you said, who would really know? Because like if you look at the first couple of games, I mean, we were like, man, I mean, Connor was balling out there. I mean, it looked real pretty at first. And then all of a sudden,
Benny Snell with 100-yard games. I'm like, what's happening here? Yeah.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, it just, I don't know what it was. I wasn't sure what it was, at first what it was. And I have my, I don't know, some ways, I mean, I guess I would say I have my little theory sometimes on Ben, but I'll leave that one alone. But no, but I think it's a little bit of both, maybe scheme, and then we needed someone else to come in because it just haven't been the same. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm this is me after watching the playoffs. Man, you look at them, those guys running the ball, those teams running the ball, and I'm like, wow, oh my goodness. I mean, wow. I mean, that's us out there. That's the way we run the ball. We're in the AFC North. That's AFC North football right there. Absolutely. Running the ball, stopping the run. And a lot of people wanted to hate on Todd Haley. But Todd Haley and them had them guys out there balling. I know he was the OC, but he had it going. They had a good combination with an O-line coach out there. I mean, it was pretty good. So I'm just hoping that, whoever they bring in, man, would also, can just, help our team a lot because we need that again, man.
What you got, Kenya?
My theories on. I mean, I'm not gonna miss Sean Surratt.
Yeah.
He. I don't put all the blame on him though. And one thing I think people fail to or forget is that when Todd Haley ran that offense that he ran, it was a spread offense. It was wide open. And while we ran the ball well in certain situations, with Munchak there.
Yeah,
right. Exactly.
He had a lot to do with that.
I mean, a lot of those run yards is basically Le'Veon, and the way that they blocked was perfect for Le'Veon Bell. And I think also that with the running backs that we have currently or had James Conner, Benny Snell, Anthony McFarland. I think, as I said before, a lot of times Ben, when the run game doesn't work, Fiegner and Ben would abandon it and wouldn't stick with it. Whereas if you look at these other teams in our division, like Cleveland and the Ravens and even Cincinnati, they'll stick with the run. You know what I mean? And just keep doing it. I think it's one of those things where you just have to. What is going to be different about our offense in 2021 with Canada there? As we get to that, once we get there and talk about that, but it's one of those things where you look at it and you say to yourself, can you really blame all of it on Sean Surratt? Lil Al kind of took a step back. 53 to Tony has always been bad for the last couple of years.
Oh, yeah. And he might be retiring, by the way.
He might be retiring.
Sources
on the fence. Sources are saying. As far as our right tackle go, we drafted Chooks.
Bum.
He's been marginal, and then and then we got my boy from USC coming up in a knee injury, which I think will actually help us re-sign him. But It all starts with that offensive line. It all starts with you have to replenish that line, really, to be honest with you. You have to make that offensive line a stud again and draft offensive linemen in this draft. And I'm saying multiple offensive linemen, not one, not one, just multiple. Whether it's tackle, center, or not necessarily have to get a guard. Even though me and Sim joke about it, I said, if it was me, I'd trade DeCastro like on Madden and try to get some picks. but that's just me. I got the Bill Belichick theory: trade him a year early, and then
right.
So it's Surratt wasn't a bad hire. He just got that job and he just didn't produce. His time ran out, and it's going to be important to see who they hire as the offensive line coach. Like that's the more interesting hire for me to see who they get. I know they missed out on. I know Hank Fraley interviewed and decided to go back. Went back to the Lions. But they got to get somebody. And they wanted Doug Marrone. I know they were looking at Doug Marrone, but he took the Alabama job, to try to rehabilitate his career to become a head coach again. He would have been perfect because he loves running the ball. He's great at that. So, it's a wait and see situation, man. It's just, Surratt was cool, just he wasn't great, and that's how I feel about
it. Yep. So I'll be happy to see who we get. Moving right along. How do you guys feel about I'll throw it to you, Tony. And I'll be honest, I'm not so familiar with him. I am a little, but not to where it makes a difference. Mike Sullivan is saying is, one of the people that the Steelers, I'm reading it now, may be interested in as the next quarterback coach. Does that mean much to you at all? I know, Kenyon a lot of times knows personnel more than most of us. But does that mean anything to you or anybody in the chat, as far as, what he may bring to the table?
Was he with the Denver Broncos at one time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also with the Giants.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not that familiar with him, as far as that's concerned. I guess, if he could come in and, help, as far as bring along Mason and Dwayne in number 3. If he could come in and help those guys out, because those are the next batch of guys that are coming up. Okay, of course, you can present something to Ben, you can help him out, but Ben, let's just be honest, a 38-year-old quarterback is kind of stuck in his ways in some ways, and you're going to be showing him stuff. But Ben, what you're going to do is work around him. What he can do at this stage of his age. So that's all the offensive. I mean, Canada was already on the staff. It's just I know he's going to bring some nuances to the offense, but let's just be honest. Until Ben gets out of the, he retires, it's going to be what it's going to be. I guess they're going to, get that running game going. But, with the quarterback coach, I mean, hopefully, he can come in and do some things, so that's all I have with that.
Yeah, I don't have much on him. I think he's we'll see what they do. I know they need a quarterback coach because you don't want Canada trying to do both jobs. It's just you just don't need that. So, whoever they hire, I just hope it's somebody that can, I don't know if they necessarily will be helping Ben that much because Ben is essentially his own quarterback coach at this point in his career. He's 38. He's been in the league. He knows more than quarterback coaches that are getting jobs that are young. He knows more than them. So, we'll see what happens. It's an interesting hire. Like I said, I'm more interested in an O-line coach because I think that's the most important thing. So, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I feel. I don't know much about him. And like you said, I would rather it not be a dual job for Canada. I want somebody to just focus on getting Mason Rudolph and Haskins better while Canada can focus on, implementing the game plans and things like that. With that being said, I mean, we can be quick with the next one. I kind of have the same thoughts on the tight end coach, and I asked you guys early in the show and forgot his name already. Let me see if I can
Coach
find it.
Roberts.
Roberts. Where is he? What's his first name? I just saw it. I can't remember.
It's like an Italian name.
Yeah, some Alfredo. Alfredo
Yeah,
Roberts.
Yeah.
Chicken Alfredo. Now, are we gonna be calling him Chicken Alfredo?
You know what I'm saying?
get
Chicken
yourself
Al. We
together,
be calling him
brother.
Chicken Al. Just don't call him
Chicken
Chicken
Al.
Al. You know what I'm saying?
Same thing. I don't know much about it. I do like the fact that I saw that he was an ex-player. So, I like that when there's, coaches and things like that. Not saying that it's necessary, but, a lot of times if a guy played the position, they can kind of give you some nuance. So we'll see. But I don't really have much more on that either. That's kind of how I feel. Hopefully he can bring something to the table. He's going to have his hands full because we're going to need these guys to block. So
Yes.
Any additional thoughts you guys got on that?
Well, I mean, obviously Tomlin. Well, what I love about Mike Tomlin, which I don't know if a lot of people recognize what he's doing, is how he hires people. Is he kind of hires people, and if you look at his staff, it's not, he kind of brings in a lot. It's a lot of diversity, and I kind of like that. I mean, and if you look at the staff, it's kind of like what Marvin Lewis did back in the day. And one thing I loved about Marvin Lewis, he had like a lot of brothers on the team as coaches, and I like that. You know what I mean? I think you kind of need that to pump people up because the NFL is so slow with hiring people. So I do like that he hired him. To go back to the quarterback coach, Pep Hamilton is an option, and we didn't talk about that. He did an interview for the OC, and he's not going back to the he's not going back. So you could get him if he wants. It's a lateral move. You know what I mean? Because it's the same job essentially. But he did such a great job with old boy for the Chargers that and I don't know what he could do. I don't know what he could do for Ben. I don't know what he could do for Ben, but he could work with Mason. He could work with Haskins, and that could be a project. So, that's all I have as far as the tight end. I mean, look, we'll see. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
He played also. I saw that he played.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did play. Yeah, he did play.
I do like that.
Yeah.
Well, one other topic, man, before we get to the main ingredient in Canada, we probably can be brief here because we kind of already summed up what we think the draft might be. But I will give my thoughts, man. Of course, sources are saying the Steelers are interested or showing interest, us and the Dolphins, and Najee Harris. I mean, why not? Why wouldn't you? He's one of those, seems like to be one of those tough runners. He's not. He's a prototypical. I won't say Steeler back, but I would say that's what they look for. Size wise, so it makes sense, and he's productive. Will the whole Alabama thing play a role? They say they charted the fact that the Steelers don't really draft Alabama kids, and I never really paid attention to that, but it does kind of seem that way. Will that play a role? Will he be there at 24? Will the whole Colbert and Tomlin, their whole mantra of we don't always draft for positional need, whoever's best and highest on our board, is he going to be a guy like that? I'm going to let Kenyon explain to you guys why you probably don't do it in the first round, so we'll definitely, let him tell you guys that, but I don't know, man. I mean, I don't want to say the value isn't there. I just don't know if you go that early. I mean, no disrespect to this guy because I think he's great. Look at Saquon Barkley. Saquon, unfortunately, just hasn't been able to stay healthy. He was a first-round pick. And it's not always your fault that you get injured. But as a business, when you look at that investment, do you be like, oh, man, we really bust our gun and it just hasn't quite paid off. So but hey, I mean, of course they're showing interest. And if they drafted him, I don't think I would be upset by it. I just don't know. I don't know if that's the move in the first round, but I'm not shocked that there may be interest. What you think, Tony, man? You think they should make that move if he's available, or would you wait a little bit later to go running back.
I think I would go a little later. Like you said, when you look around the league and you begin to see, some of the running backs, and of course, there are a couple of teams that got some first round running backs, but then I know you had some teams can get some sleepers like New Orleans did. They were able to get it in the third round. You just never know what you can get sometimes, and I think we have other positions that need to be filled. I'm not in the scouting department. I'm not in that room. I can only tell you what, from what I see, what we need, and for running back, and just like you said, Kenyon, he probably can elaborate a little bit more why you would not go with someone that high. But I think that there's other needs that we need on that team, So, you can look at offensive linemen, you can look at that, you can look at a tight end. You never know what if the boy go in the first round of that tight end. Would you look at him? You talk about it might be a corner there that you never know.
We need to pay closer attention to cornerback, man.
Yes.
Just as a roster.
You look at that.
Yeah.
Like I said, offensive lineman, you look at a center. Then there's gonna be some free agents out there. So, but I think for a running back, I don't know. Was the last time we got a first round running back? And we don't want to say his name is number 34. Kenyon's favorite running back. That fumbled in the Green Bay Super Bowl.
He did take that fool in the first round, didn't he?
Yep.
Why did I think he was a second? I don't know.
He was the first round draft pick. He was supposed to be the future. He was the guy, remember? He was the dude, remember?
Oh, God.
Yep. He was from Illinois, right? And so then you got Le'Veon that went in the second round. So, he turned out to be a lotto stud, So, on you, Kenny.
Look, here's the thing: where there's smoke, there's fire. If the Steelers are hovering around Najee Harris, the Steelers drafting a running back.
Yeah.
So
wow.
So if you think that they would take him at 24. Now here's the thing: if I was in the Steelers organization and I was there and I had a voice, I'm not taking Najee Harris, because Najee Harris to me is, what's the difference between Najee Harris and Le'Veon Bell?
If you talk about the breakaway speed,
right? So you guys always talk about how we love Le'Veon Bell, but he never broke away from it.
Yeah.
No.
So, what kind of running back do you want? Because I like Najee Harris. I've seen Najee Harris in high school. I saw him play as a junior. I saw him play as a senior in high school. He's from California. He's from Northern California. I saw him play. He's a stud. He's a lotto stud, as Tony likes that phrase that he coined. But do I want to take? I just don't believe in taking running backs in the first round, because none of them pan out to become what you think they're going to become, and you really only got 3 years with them if you really think about it.
Right.
So there are running backs out there that you can get in the second. There's Javonte Williams, who I told you guys about. Remember Javonte Williams? There's the other running back from North Carolina, Michael Johnson, that's with him in the backfield. Both of them. The guy I would take, if I'm going to get a running back that can't break away, but is just wants to run over people, and I can just feed him the ball 20 or 30 times. Hey man, I can get Trey Sermon in the third round.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you about him.
I can get Trey Sermon in. I can get Trey Sermon in the third round. He does the same thing Najee Harris does.
Yeah.
I can get Trey Sermon in the third round. I would make that pick. And let him play, and let him be my running back, because he is a stud. He got hurt in that one game, and I'll put it you this way: if he didn't get hurt in that game, he'd have been killing. Putting in work against Alabama. You know what I'm saying? So, there's other running backs. There's There's Kenneth Gainwell, but Gainwell to me.
That
But
Gainwell
here's the
kid is
thing.
nice. Yeah.
But here's the thing.
Wow.
Gainwell, we already got Rashad. We already got Anthony McFarland, and they're both speed backs. So why would you get another back that's like that? You know, and there's a kid out of Louisville that's really slight and really fast that opted out. But it's look, Trey Sermon to me.
Yeah,
Trey Sermon to me. I don't know what film y'all watching, but the last 5 weeks of the season, he was trucking people. He was running people over. He was getting 150 plus a game. He is a stud. He is a stud.
Yes.
Look, if I'm gonna address the other needs on my team, and I'll look at it this way: if the Steelers say O-line first round, tight end first round, I even could take. You can make an argument for cornerback first round if somebody falls that you like, and
Right.
I would be open to that because that basically I would go with the Steelers tradition. You know what I mean? Just best available player. So if I do that, second round I go offensive line, third round I go Trey Sermon, fourth round I go O-line. I'm winning. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to do. That's what kind of draft I want.
Yeah.
You also, so it's kind of like I like Javonte. I've already started my scouting. So all you people who think, look, I'm already ahead of you guys. I've already started. I've already done Javonte Williams. I've already watched 3 games of Javonte Williams. I'm off him now. I've watched both of those backs, so I've already got reports on them. But I'm saving that for when we do the draft stuff. So I'm just adding up. For you guys in the chat, we're gonna try to split it up. Sim will take some people. I'm gonna take some people. I'm trying to get Tony to take some people, and then we just could complete it. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good. But look, I like Najee Harris. If they draft him, would I be mad? No. But if you draft Najee Harris, he's starting. It's not a debate.
Yeah.
If you draft Najee Harris, Benny Snell won't get carries. And personally, I think Anthony McFarland benefits by Canada being.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
He's been running in the offense, and you put him in the offense, he's a stud. So the way I look at it is, do I have to address running back in the first round at 24? No. Will he be there at 24? He might not. If he drops to us, will I take him? Maybe. So that's my thoughts on it. It's not a definitive answer. But if you ask me, would I take an offensive lineman that's a stud there? Yes, I would take one. If there's somebody like that. So, and look, I'm just saying, I love Trey Sermon. Because what I saw the last 4 weeks or 5 weeks is a guy, he's hungry and he doesn't like to fall and he falls forward. And he reminds me of Eddie George in a lot of ways. I'm running over you. I'm going to get these extra. And he's a big back.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He's a big back. And, so if you look at it and you say Najee Harris is a freak athlete. He hurdles over people, but he's Le'Veon Bell. And you know what?
Right.
If you start going pass pro, which is an important thing, as Sim always says, you can't get on the field if you don't do pass pro. That's a Tomlin staple.
Yeah,
that's right. You can't get on the field. That's why you didn't see McFarland. People wonder why you didn't see McFarland because he wasn't great in pass pro yet. You can't be on the field for that.
When Ben passing 50 times a game,
come on, man.
McFarland ain't coming in.
He ain't coming in the game. So Najee Harris, I think Najee Harris could do it. But I don't think he's as skilled as what Le'Veon was when he walked into the. When Le'Veon came to the Steelers, he was already great at pass pro. That's why he got on the field so fast. Trey Sermon to me, look, if you want to be an AFC North running back and run and pound people, Najee Harris, Trey Sermon, Javonte Williams to me is like he's stout, he's fast, but from the games I watched. He's more quick than fast. He doesn't run away from people, but he is fast. You know what I'm saying? So he can get through the hole and scat and do whatever. And he's more burly. He's he's 5'9", 5'8", 5'9", 210. So he's not a small guy. You know what I mean? So, it's but personally, I can wait and I can get me Trey Sermon in the third round, maybe even the fourth round, and we can roll. So
absolutely.
That's my thoughts pre-draft. I like Najee Harris. I'm not downplaying Najee Harris. I think Sim likes Najee Harris. I think Tony likes Najee Harris. I'm just saying.
I like Trey Sermon too, man.
I like Trey Sermon. I like Trey Sermon a little better.
I like him a little bit better.
That demeanor, man. That means a lot to me.
Whew.
And
Look,
funny side story, man. Anybody who watches my Thursday podcast, me and my co-host on that had a little debate. And I think Tony and Kenyon are going to understand what I'm saying by this. I started talking about basketball, and I said, this is one reason why I don't like Dwight Howard as much as I should, because he's, as big as he is, he should dominate, right? And then I said, perfect example. I don't like Brandon Jacobs either as a running back, because I never felt like this dude played with the demeanor. Like, he's soft to me, man. And you that big. Now, my co-host made a good point, though. He said, if he's that tall, it's harder for him to get down and run people over. And I'm like, nah, that's not exactly what I'm saying.
It's not true. Yeah, it's not true.
Dude just never ran with that oomph. He never. I used to yell at him all the time. My brother would tell you, like, yo, this dude is too big to be stepping out of bounds, or he just didn't have that fire. And that's what I mean. Demeanor means a lot to me. Maybe it's because I played in the position. Like, it just means a lot to me.
Right.
Trey Sermon got it, man.
Yes.
He was a baller. He's just, yeah. I love that. So, but I want to see what you guys say in the chat, man. Brandon Jacobs, to me, he never played like a 6'4", 6'3", 240 plus. Never played like a bruiser to me.
I mean, you figure you gotta look at the people who have been bruising backs in the history of the NFL. You start talking about
Earl
Campbell.
Oh man.
Jerome Bettis.
Yes. Christian Okoye.
Who just ran over people, wasn't even trying to move out the way. He was looking for DBs and linebackers to run over.
Come here.
I mean, you can put Bo Jackson there who will run you over.
Yes.
It's Brandon Jacobs. I agree with Sim. He never played like that, but it's funny when he played against the Steelers. He was running over people, which is kind of funny. It was kind of interesting in that game that he just decided that game I'm gonna start running over people. But Brandon Jacobs, I agree. But Trey Sermon is, look, look. Najee Harris is the same way. My thing with those players to me is that they're so similar, and you can get that same back later in a later round.
Right.
That I don't know you invest with the 24 pick when your needs are, especially when you probably can get an elite tackle at 24.
Right.
Yeah.
That's my only thing. Or you can get, depending on what Pouncey does, you can get a center. You know what I mean? But you can probably get a center in the third. You know what I mean? And whatever. So, I agree with Sam. That's my thoughts on it. I mean, look, I'm just giving you guys options. It's early. It's January 26th.
It's early. Yeah.
Things change by the time it gets to March. I'm just saying, where there's smoke, there's fire. So, but I really like Trey Sermon. I really like Javonte Williams. I'm just keeping it 100. The games I saw, he's super quick and he's super fast, and I love him. I love both those North Carolina backs. And I remember somebody was telling me about which North Carolina backs have done stuff in the NFL compared to Alabama backs that come in or whatever. I was like, it doesn't matter what school you go to. Like, get that out your head. Whatever school you go to, if you have NFL pro potential, you'll ball out. So
yeah,
that doesn't make any sense. LaDainian Thompson went to TCU. They've had no other backs except LaDainian Thompson. It doesn't matter where you go. It matters how you show. So that's my thoughts on that.
And I'm not beating up Dwight Howard, y'all. I mean, listen, he did some good things, but maybe I just had my expectations of him, just being honest, his size and how he was all brolic. And I'm like, yo, this dude's supposed to be the next, not necessarily, this is not literally, but he's supposed to be like as dominant as Shaq on his level. He never was that. He never was a guy.
Yeah, but you're going too far with that.
No. That's what I'm saying.
No. I know what you're saying, but you're not literally. I'm not even. Look, man. Look, Dwight Howard was a great player. I mean, he's a good player. But he wasn't a number one. That's the best way you can put it.
Yeah, he was.
Best way you can put it to them. He wasn't a one. He was never a one. They tried to help him put people around him. He was never a one. He was never the guy. You know what I'm saying? He needed to go somewhere else and team up with other people. And he lacked, as what Sim is talking about, his mental stuff, which is stuff that we always try to tell people when you try to compare players. It's the mental stuff that separates players. It's your mental mentality, which is why Sim grew up. That's why Sim loved Kobe. Rest in peace, because Kobe.
Oh, today
Kobe was
too. Yeah,
right. That's what I'm saying. Rest in peace. Your anniversary. Man. Kobe was the closest thing that we saw to Mike. They had the same mentality. the
That's
same
right.
mentality. You know what I'm saying? Foot on neck, kill or be killed, and that's how it is.
Yes.
You don't see that now.
Yes.
It's just the reality of what you see in basketball. You don't see it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody's friends. And I think that's a separator. Because when people say, well, this, I'm like, no, the guy who's the killer will always beat the guy who wants to be cool with him. You know what I mean? You're not going to kill him with kindness. You know what I mean? It's not going to work that way. And so I agree with you. Dwight Howard he just wasn't a one. That's how you look at him. He wasn't a one. There's a lot of guys who look like ones that aren't ones. First of all, he's 6'9" with a limited post game. I ain't getting up for no basketball rant. We can get into that all.
Yeah.
That's the offseason thing because I can go there all day. You know that.
Right. It's wrong for me to even sideways make that because there's no comparison. Because people used to always say that about Shaq. Man, he's so big, he's supposed to be dominant. Yes, exactly.
Yes, exactly.
He was supposed to be Shaq Diesel, run through everything. That man played to his size, capability, mentality. He had it all. Maybe a little lazy in comparison to Kobe. But still, on the court, Shaq was gonna throw it down your throat, and that's what I'm saying, man. Maybe we from the old days. I just like that aggressiveness, man, in kids, man. I just
right.
I agree. It is what it is. You know, one day we'll have a steel table about basketball. We'll answer all your basketball questions. That's another day.
Same beef, by the way. C. Antoine Hill. I know you a fellow Sixer fan. Finally, we see Embiid looking like he can, carry a game. That's the same beef I got with him. Now, he's not as big as far as, size-wise. But Embiid supposed to... Now, Kenyon going to laugh at this one, too. This is not a direct comparison, guys. I'm just trying to compare finesse.
I already know where you're going.
He's supposed to be able to dominate like the Dream did. In that style. Footwork, stuff like that. He ain't no Olajuwon. No way. Ain't nobody Olajuwon. Let's just get that straight. But that's what, to me, Embiid needs to stay in that post and work. And then step out when you need to, because he can shoot it. But now, it killed me last year when the dude just shooting threes after three. I'm like, dog, you kill when you down there. Why do you not stay down in the paint and cook them dudes? Like Shaq would say, barbecue chicken all day. Now he finally started. It looked like this season so far, he going to work. So we'll see.
But that's Doc.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
I mean it's not even a debate. It's Doc. Doc told him to get his butt down in the post. And the reality of the situation is that Joel Embiid to me is an underachiever. He's been an underachiever in his career. He's shown you flashes, but he's never taken over games. Like when he has a good game, he thinks he's done something great instead of doing that every night, which is why Shaq and them would get on him. Like he's supposed to do that every night. He's supposed to do that every night. So, and I think that's what they don't. I think that's what they don't get. Like you got to do that all the time because doing something in the regular season and putting in work, that's nice. But you got to put in work in the whole playoffs. And you got to look at it this way. Joel Embiid is kind of like the prima donna. He's the opposite of Akeem Olajuwon. Because Akeem Olajuwon wasn't a prima donna. He was a grinder. It's just what he was. He was just talented. He was supremely talented. Best footwork ever in the NBA as far as the center goes.
Go back and watch, folks. Trust me. Because I could speak from experience, being younger. A lot of times when those dudes was in their heyday, I wasn't really paying attention. I was watching, but I go back and watch a lot of that stuff now, being older, and just be like, oh, man. Like, I promise you, some of you guys who didn't, again, I was young even when Jordan was playing. But going back and watching it at an older age, that's all I'm going to say.
Yep.
Go watch The Dream, man. Olajuwon was, my goodness, it won't even fair. His up and under, just the footwork, the type of shot that he would give you in that post is no comparison, dog.
Unguardable.
Ridiculous with it. But all right, guys, let's get to the final topic. I think we'll be here for a little minute. You guys see it in the thumbnail. Matt Canada, and I was a little early come to find out last week. I didn't even realize they made it seem as if it was automatically going to happen, right? But now it's official. Canada is the new OC, which prompts a question that I'm going to throw to both Tony and Kenyon, and you guys can answer it in your own time. But what do I think? I'm happy that it's a new and potential fresh offense that we'll see. The number one question, though, guys, is what's going to happen with Ben Roethlisberger? Is Ben Roethlisberger going to still be the man and still run the show, so to speak? Is there going to be a little friction like we heard with him and Todd Haley? Is he going to be stubborn? Is it going to be, look, man, I'm in my last season. I'm going to run this offense the way Is it kind of, helping Ben to stay comfortable since Canada was there this season and they kind of know each other a little bit? Or will we see more of the Matt Canada? And actually, guys, while I'm talking, I'll let you guys watch this video because I don't want Kenyon and Tony to be out of the screen when they're talking. Let me make sure it's up. I see it there, so if you guys can confirm that you all can see it, we'll get going. I know y'all can see it. Let me just roll this thing over top of us here really quick. I want you guys to pay attention to this as I'm talking, man. And then, when it's done, I'll get Tony, get his information on it, his opinion. But I want you guys to watch this video, man. Let me get to it here. Look at the type of stuff that this dude ran. Here in the video, it says, Master of Disguise, the Matt Canada offense. Can y'all imagine this kind of craziness happening with the Steelers when you take into account teams like Kansas City and how they always throwing something crazy at you, especially at the goal line? When you take into account the Ravens and some of the formations, even though I honestly will say the Ravens got a little more vanilla this season. Yeah. Not as much trickery, but look at this stuff. Do y'all see this? Look at this. You don't know what's coming. Are we going? And I know this is college, but hey, why not infuse this in the NFL? You know what I mean? Like, again, look at Kansas City with Eric Bieniemy and Andy Reid is doing out there. They've ran some of the craziest formations. We've seen guys like McVay do some wild stuff. We've seen one of my favorites all of a sudden, Kyle Shanahan, do some wild stuff with the formations. So could you guys imagine this type of stuff that you're seeing on the screen? The question is, are we going to see this? Or has Ben, not really going to be comfortable with it? Like Kenyon said earlier, this might require, let me show it to y'all one more time. This might require a mobile quarterback. Does this mean Dwayne Haskins, and even though he's not mobile, he's probably the more mobile that we have now. Does he come in? Is there a few packages where we might throw some of this out there? A lot of questions, man. But at the end of the day, as this video wraps up and I kick it to Tony, I'm happy. I'm definitely happy that it seems like they're doing the right thing in terms of, look, you brought this guy in last year. Obviously, it seemed like it was setting up to be, okay, when the opportunity comes, he's going to be the guy. Makes perfect sense. So I'm definitely happy with that. Younger, a little more fresh. But here's the question that I got to throw to you, Tony, and Kenyon, you answer it as well. Do y'all think the Hugh Jackson and the Pep Hamilton interviews, do y'all think that was Rooney Rule? You think the Steelers threw the Rooney Rule out there just so they meet their quota? I got to be fair. And listen, guys, y'all see us on the screen. Well, y'all will see us here in a minute. Let me take this off. As y'all can see that, we have a little melanin in our skin, right? So, obviously, we're going to be for the Rooney. You heard Kenyon talk about it earlier in the show, it's always good to have, the slang that we always use. It's always good to have brothers on the staff, man, because, listen, we are that. So, of course, we're going to represent our own. And in this country, y'all know the history. You're always looking down on, you can't be a head coach, you can't be an owner, you can't be a quarterback. So I'm always great when we can show our talents, right? Let's give us a fair shot. It's crazy we still dealing with that in 2021. Y'all know how the world is right now still. However, did the Steelers do something sneaky, man? Did they just bring these dudes in? Was Hugh Jackson a real consideration? Or was that some Rooney Rule stuff happening there, man? If you want to answer that first, Tony, you can. But if not, man, you can save it until the last part.
I think it was Rooney Rule. I think that they had to do it. And that's the one thing about the Steelers. it's a family. I mean, when you really want to look at it, they always hire from within most of the time. They bring their guys up sometimes, and that's just what they do. I have, on another show we can, discuss that. Sometimes I think that can hurt them sometimes, because sometimes, just okay, for example, a player, we hold on players for too long. You can hold on to players for too long instead of getting something for them, later, because you're trying to hold on to a family, trying to bring up something within. When you look at Pep Hamilton and Hugh Jackson, I know you guys didn't want Hugh Jackson.
No Lord.
Because
Man.
No Lord.
I'm just going to, but I think he was trying to, I think it was, that they were just going through the motion. I mean, let's just be honest about it. So you go ahead, Ken.
Oh, real quick, Kenya, let me say this real fast just to make y'all laugh. I can imagine in that organization, Hugh Jackson, that one slipped through the cracks, right? So somebody way up did that. And maybe Tomlin looked at them like, man, y'all, you better bring somebody else in because that one is clear. You better bring somebody else in that might look like they have a chance. I'm just helping y'all because the folks gonna know that that's some BS if you just brought in Hugh Jackson.
I'm gonna tell you another team. I don't know if you heard of this. I can't remember, but they brought in. Remember the Indianapolis coach had that coach, the black coach. Older guy.
Yeah. I know you're talking about. Yeah. I know you're talking about.
Yeah,
he's talking about the guy. He just left. Jim Caldwell.
And some team brought him in to have a discussion with him to comply with the Rooney Rule. They did that today. Yeah.
Well, one thing you have to realize is, typically the Steelers, the Matt Canada thing, I think they were going to hire from within anyway.
Right.
With that job, I think they had genuine interest in. I think Hugh Jackson it's a cool interview. Look, I don't have no beef with Hugh Jackson. Hugh Jackson we're from the same area of Los Angeles. We grew up in the same spot. Hugh Jackson is 4 years older than me. We grew up in the same neighborhood, literally same neighborhood. He coached at Dorsey. He coached at USC. So, in a lot of ways, I like him. You know what I mean? He's LA born and bred. He's like my guy. But, that wouldn't work just with the dynamics of, they've already had a guy like that. His name was Todd Haley. So I could see that relationship just being bad, like real quickly. It might work for a year, but, it would be bad. I think they had to comply. You have to comply. You have to interview minority candidates. And I think the Steelers did it, but I think they kind of knew that they were going with Canada. Look, the Canada move, to be honest with you, was already set up the year before. So it's not a surprise.
Yeah.
It was set up in 2020 when they hired Canada to be the quarterback's coach. And one thing people have to realize, what Sim was talking about when he shows that video, is that, Haskins could run that offense like that. I don't know about Mason Rudolph, but I know Haskins can run that offense because that's the offense they ran at Ohio State. So he can run a version of that offense. But I think they had to fit that quota. It's cool. It's not a Tomlin thing where it's his fault. They just had to fit the quota. They did it. They interviewed the two candidates. They brought in minority candidates.
Tomlin ain't had nothing to do with that, y'all.
Right, he had nothing to do with that. And they might have had somebody in as far as like Pep Hamilton might get the quarterback coaching job, which would be great. I mean, all quarterbacks interview for all assistants interview for other positions with other teams every year. So you just want to fit the quota as far as the Steelers go. I mean, the Canada thing, you saw that coming. Like when they hired him, me and Sim talked. I said, yo, he's going to take over the job because if this is Fichtner's last year of his contract, it was all going to depend on how the offense did. And by week 7, I think we all knew, oh yeah, that's it. Even though they were winning, I was like, oh no, they can't. It's too hard for them to score. You know what I mean? So it's
yeah.
I think that Canada, and if you look at that offense, which is what I brought up earlier about the tight ends, if you saw that video, you saw how they was using the tight ends. You need 2 tight ends. You need guys like that on your team. So I'm with Sim. I remember. I mean, I sent the text to Sim and Tony, and they both were like, Sim was like, "Yo, I'm ecstatic. That's what I wanted." And so, you know, I'm with Canada. You know, as far as that goes, it's just we got him for 3 years. I don't know if you draft. I don't know if you. I mean, I think the Steelers will be looking for a draft from the quarterback. You know, look. You know, quick Senior Bowl thing. There is a quarterback that I talked about that is at the Senior Bowl right now. Now, it's a good and a bad to this person. The good is he was listed at 6'4", 230 at Wake Forest. Jamie Newman. 6'4", 230, RPO quarterback, running quarterback, can throw the ball. He measured at the Senior Bowl 6'2", 230. Now, I know people don't think 2 inches is a big thing, but yeah, it is. It is a big thing. You know, when you 6'2" instead of 6'4", that's a big thing. So this is a big week for him. If he shows out, the Steelers might put him on their radar. You know, one thing about Colbert is if at the Senior Bowl, they like a lot of Senior Bowl kids. So if he shows out, it's all good. Look, Kyle Trask was his other competition, and he's not there. Mac Jones is competition, but Mac Jones is going to be gone by the time he hits 24. From the way they're talking.
Mike Jones.
So, you know, I would say, you know, Jamie Newman was the guy I was looking at, but they may not address that. They may not address that position this year. I mean, look, there's always trades, fellas. People in the chat, women. There's always trades.
Yeah.
So you can never forget that there could be a trade. Somebody in the chat just said no Stafford. I don't want Matt Stafford.
Thanks for the donation, by the way. But
I don't want Matt Stafford. I just don't want that guy. No disrespect to him. He's a good player, but I don't want him.
Stafford's probably gonna cost you a little money too. It's not gonna be it ain't a Dwayne Haskins situation.
It's not a Dwayne Haskins situation. Look, now if the Jets do something which I think they shouldn't do and draft a quarterback, and they let Darnold become available, that's a different discussion. I mean, I might be open to that. So it just depends on how it plays out. You have to always factor in trades. You know, predicting players is different. You don't know how the offseason is going to play. And Colbert has been really pulling the trigger lately. If you think about it, he's been making a lot of big trades. You know what I mean? Trying to be all in. So yeah. So you know, but I'm with Tony. I'm with Sam. I like the Matt Canada thing, but I don't know if we'll see the true offense. What you're seeing on the screen, I don't know if we're gonna see that next year.
Yeah,
it'll be the next
wishful thinking.
Right. It'll be the next quarterback. Right. It'll be you know, it'll be AB. It'll be AB, like you said, Tony.
After Ben.
AB after Ben. You know, that's when you'll see that offense like this. But if you look at just look at these holes. That's why I tell people in the chat. That's why Anthony McFarland is going to flourish if they get the right pieces in this offense. You know what I mean? That's why he would be the perfect lightning to whoever becomes the the lead back thunder. You know what I mean? You know, and so
hopefully it's Sermon.
Hopefully it's somebody. You know, if it's Nigel, if it's Sermon, it's all good. But I just think that it's I'm impressed with the hire. It's actually, I think about it, Canada was an outside guy. He was an outside hire technically. You know what I mean? It was something that they normally don't do. So, and Canada has been in demand for like a couple of years, man. And Tomlin knew him from Pitt. Remember, he was the Pitt coach. He was the Pitt coach, you know, so he saw him every day. So, but we won't see that true offense until after. But, my closing on that is that we have to rally around the Canada thing. We should all get excited about it, whether it's this year or next year. He'll make some tweaks for Ben. He'll make some tweaks, and Ben will just have to adapt. So unless Ben adapts, it's just hard to teach an old dog new tricks, man. I always think about, I hate to bring you back, I think about Dan Marino's last years in Miami when Jimmy Johnson wanted to run the ball, if you remember that. And you remember how he was like, we're going to get your attempts down. We're going to run the ball. We're going to establish run. Do you remember that? And he just wasn't the same. You know what I'm saying? I was like, that's not Dan Marino. So it's kind of like you have to have both. So, you know, I just think they won't address it, and I'm happy that the Canada hire happened, and you know, I just can't wait. That's how I feel about that.
Yeah, man. It's as much as we like the Canada signing. Well, yeah, I guess you call it signing, hiring. It's still a TBD. We still got to see what he does with it. And not so much, you know, him. I think we've seen the type of philosophy I guess he can bring on the offense, but I still want to know how is it going to mesh with the quarterback that's on the roster. Unless Ben sneaks around and retires on us, then we'll see. Somebody here says, Eric Rivera, shout outs for the donation as well. He says, bringing Haskins mean Ben stays. Yeah, that's probably.
Yep.
And another thing, man, before we wrap up, we got to talk about this. And it's kind of my man talking about Stafford too. And this is not a slight at you guys or anything. But why do us Steelers fans, every single player that's available, whether it's free agency, cuts, draft, why do y'all think we supposed to get every single person? If anybody gets cut, first thing y'all talk about, oh, Steelers should do that. Steelers should trade for Deshaun Watson. Still, like, y'all totally forget about the cap. You totally forget about whether the player matches our. I mean,
that's right.
Why do we do that so much, guys? I know we all fans, and we. Again, this is not a disrespect, but most general fans, I like to call it, you guys are highlight watchers. You don't really look at the ins and outs and understand maybe everything that's playing out on the field as far as how an offense is constructed, scheme, personnel, coaching staff. Definitely don't know contracts and things like that. A lot of times you're just like, oh, we should get him. Oh, we should get him. But even if y'all just watch this show, we've talked about cap not being that good for a minute. So there's no way for us to trade for Deshaun Watson. How could that work?
Right.
With Ben Roethlisberger still being on the roster, by the way. Right. How y'all think that's going to work?
And then they talk about Dak Prescott.
Oh Lord, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, I don't. It's the Madden mentality. It's like I do it on Madden. I can get whoever I want.
Yeah.
Cap doesn't affect me. And they kind of don't think about what goes into that. And then also, I think they don't. To use a term that my aunt used to say to me, they want the food cooked. You know what I mean? They don't want to know how you made it. Yeah. They just want to know they just want it cooked. They want fast food. Right. You know what I mean? They don't want to sit there and make it. They just want the fast food. And any player you bring to the Steelers, or we should get him. We should get him.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.
JJ Watt 2 weeks
Goodbye.
ago. We should trade for JJ Watt. I'm like, yo, do you look at their cap? Like, do you look at it? It's kind of like sometimes it's frustrating because, and it's why I try not to engage, because you can't really say anything to them. It's like you try to explain it, but then it's like they don't hear that. You know what I mean? It's like certain things I know it, and but they just don't get it. It's almost like they see what they see, they want what they want, and kind of don't want. It's like a microwave situation. They just don't want to put in the work. So, it's. I don't, look, to me, it's just a waste of a conversation, because with the players that we have, you have to know how the Steelers kind of move. And I always remember the show when they traded for Minka, and Sim and Tony were texting, and we're like, that's just an outside move. They never do that. Right. And it was kind of like one of those things. So, trying to get a quarterback, and you have to remember, if you get somebody like Stafford, you're basically saying Ben is retired, because if he comes there, they're not bringing Ben back because they got to pay Ben. They owe Ben $19 million by March. Right. Yeah, so these are things that you have to think about when you talk about, bring this dude in or cut Ben. The Steelers have given no indication that they will cut Ben. Why would you cut Ben Roethlisberger? He has earned the right to play his last year.
Right.
If he wants to.
You can't cut your Hall of Fame quarterback in his last season.
You can't cut your Hall of Fame quarterback because you feel that you ready to move on. Look, the Steelers are cold, but they ain't the Patriots. That's some Patriot stuff. You know what I mean? Where they cut you. You know what I mean? That's not Steelers stuff. So it's kind of like, I basically, to me, it's like, look, people we got to ride with Ben this year.
Yep.
It is what it is. If he comes back, we got to ride with him. We got to roll with him, and then hopefully we can find our quarterback after that, and move forward. But I think what the Steelers don't want to do is be in a situation where they're looking for their franchise quarterback for the next 15 years. I think that's what they're really attempting to do, to try to kind of do like Green Bay. The model is Green Bay: draft your quarterback, and hopefully he can take over when your guy, when your guy retires or something. You know what I mean? And it's the most important thing. Look, it's all franchises have ups and downs, but you just got to roll with it. I trust the Rooneys. They brought us 6 Super Bowls. I can't really argue. I mean, look, we could be Cleveland fans, people.
Facts.
And in your lifetime, you've never seen the championship. I want y'all to think about that. You could be Detroit Lions fans. And I got family in Detroit who are diehard Detroit Lions fans. And they call and say, yeah, our Lions going to be good. And I always laugh. To me, it's comedy. It's straight funny to me. It's like watching Richard Pryor. It's funny. You know what I'm saying? Because I know for a fact they're never going to be. So it's that's what I'm saying. So Steelers fans are spoiled. Look, I live in LA. Sim will tell you, Lakers fans are spoiled. So I see it all the time. You know what I mean? It's crazy. So it's Ben is going to play. If Ben plays, if he decides to play, and from what people are saying, he really wants to play, because I think he didn't like the way he went out, and I think he really wants to show. But if anything we learned from this playoffs about Pittsburgh or about Ben Roethlisberger, and me and Sim and Tony talked about this, defenses in the playoffs if you have failings as a quarterback, you will get exposed. And the example would be Drew Brees, who we all loved in that playoff game. They said, no, beat us deep. Show that you can beat us deep. And he couldn't do it. And that was the game. That was basically the whole game. And if Ben can't throw the ball deep anymore, I don't know what to tell you. And the only way you can supplement him not throwing the ball deep like that to take shots is your run game has to be superior, so that it opens up plays.
Right. That's right.
And so the run games really is really more important now, which is why it reverts back to the first point. O-line is the most important position that the Steelers have to draft this year.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Yeah, man, I guess we can end with that, guys. I'm just looking here to the left side now to give y'all a preview. I told y'all on the show, too, that I was going to do it. And I told Kenyon I did a couple cracks at it just to see what would turn out. So what I'm planning on doing, man, just for those, who care to watch it, everybody knows who plays Madden. The game is just not what it used to be as far as depth. I really wish it had franchise features that it had back in 05 and Madden 05 and Madden 08. I would have a good time with that. But it's just not there now. But I figure since we don't have football, maybe I'll find some other intermediate stuff to talk about during the week. So what I plan to do, man, I think I'm going to do it live. I think I'm going to do it live in a live stream and just let everybody watch and we can have fun. But just to give you all a preview, I did one.
Yo, Sam, wait, before you do that.
Yeah.
You're gonna do it live. We'll do it live. That's what you're gonna do. That's what you're gonna do.
Oh God. Yeah, man. But yeah, man, I want you guys to be a part of it. Unless y'all think I should just run with what I got. So let me just read to you guys some of the additions and give y'all a heads up as far as what I will do or what I already did if I keep this roster. So what I did is I learned a little trick, right? And you got to kind of trick Madden a little bit in order to get some better cap. So what I ended up doing is I released a lot of the dudes that ain't on the roster. Like, I started in the offseason because, in Madden now, maybe some of y'all don't know, you can decide where you want to start. So I started it in this past weekend. So we're already, quote unquote, in the offseason. So I let a lot of these dudes go, and it gave me more cap space. So anyway, let me just give y'all a preview. And if y'all say, yo, let's keep this roster and let's just start from here, or if y'all rather me do a live stream, we'll have some fun with that. Here's basically the roster with some draft picks and some patched together free agents, because, boy, it was tough. Ben Roethlisberger, Dwayne Haskins, Mason Rudolph. Haskins is ranked a little bit higher than Rudolph in the game, so that's the depth chart. Benny Snell, Jalen Samuels, which I was on the fence with this one. I might end up cutting him. Anthony McFarland. And then I waited too long to get a running back, so I ended up grabbing another speedster, Javian Hawkins, right? Just why not? Got him in like the 4th round. He's a fast guy too. They got him ranked at 93 speed in Madden, right? So then you move on. Of course, you got Derek Watt. Here are my receivers. Juju, I ended up signing him back. Deontay Johnson, Claypool, Washington. Then after that, we have Nico Collins and Rico Bussey Jr. I don't even know who that is. Now, again, I'm using roster share with people. There's people who really do this type of thing. They create these draft classes and they upload them. It's amazing. So I don't know if some of these guys are actually real people. I definitely think Nico Collins is. I've heard that name. But I don't know about this other kid. Moving on.
Nico's real.
Yeah, I know Nico is real, yeah. Tight ends, we got Ebron, Gentry, and Raider. What I had to do was release Vance because I don't think the roster update that Madden put out last week didn't include that move. So I had to do that. So then I drafted at left tackle, Liam Eckenberg out of Notre Dame. Tony might appreciate that, right?
No, I told everybody Liam Eckenberg. That's right. I told Tony. I told Sim.
He did.
I appreciate you listening to my advice. Thank you.
So right now, for you guys who played Madden in the last Madden did this too. 20 did it. Now they've changed it to where you don't know what their trait is, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's funny because I actually gave them some feedback around that a few years ago, and they finally got around to it. What I still don't like about this, though, and I told them this last year, I still don't like the fact that if the trait is hidden, they're going to either be a star or a superstar because the lower tiers don't get it. So I was like, you're still kind of giving it away. My idea would be, I've been saying this for 7 years now, hide all of them. Make it all hidden. And you have to play these guys to see what they're going to be because the way they have it now, I have to play 500 downs with this player, and then his dev trait will be revealed. I think that's a little cool touch. But you should do that with all of the rookies. That would be dope. Then you don't, because again, let me explain to you guys how I am with Madden and just football video gaming. I'm a simulation dude. I want the game to be as real as possible. So I like the grind work and having to play in preseason and see what these dudes going to turn out to be. And, it's our way to still play football without playing football. Y'all know? That's why I'm so hard on Madden. I need a simulation football game to suffice me. But anyway, so I know he's going to be at least a star. Let's see. Who else we got? I double dipped. 2nd round, I went. Kenyon might appreciate this one because he probably knows the kid. Elijah Vera Tucker.
See?
Left guard.
USC.
I went 1 and 2. And then, of course, y'all know Kevin Dotson. Let's see. Pouncey, Castro. Then I had to sign a bum. Tom Compton. He's not a bum, but, it's rating-wise, he's a bum. But I had to fill out the roster. So we got Tom Compton.
The cab driver.
Yeah, man. Right tackle. I have a Ty. I don't know if I'm saying his name correctly. He's an 8-year vet. Is it Niski? It's Nsekhat.
Oh, yeah. I know you're talking about that.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
I know what that is.
His rankings aren't that high either, but he's higher than Okafor. So I had to run with that. Left end, of course, you got Stephon Tuitt. I grabbed Aaron Lynch just for depth. Of course, we got Cameron Haywood, Carlos Davis at the right end. And boy, were we struggling at D tackle. I ended up grabbing Corey Peters on a 1-year deal because, listen, trust me, there's nobody else better out there, even in Madden terms. We had Isaiah Buggs and DeMarcus Christmas, which I know from Florida State. But ratings-wise, I needed somebody a little more stout. So I went ahead and, got Corey Peters because he had strength. So I was like, I'll use that. Left outside is TJ Watt. and Amari Gaynor. Florida State again. Y'all, you know, I had to do it. But this is late. This is like 6th round. Who else we got? Middle linebackers, Bush, Williams, Spillane. I re-signed Spillane and UG3. So we're struggling a little bit there. Right outside linebacker, Highsmith and Jeremy Atachu.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
Had to grab some depth there. But again, y'all know how the Madden ratings are. Not that great, but you got to have some depth. Cornerback. Here's an interesting one. Steven Nelson. Sidney Jones. Got him out of free agency. Sidney Jones, all right. You know, his ranking's a little decent here. 90 speed, 82 man. And y'all know, for you guys who haven't played Madden in a while, they lowered the ratings. So everybody is lower across the board. So a man coverage of 82 ain't bad, right, currently. So I got him as my number 2 as I just dropped my controller. 1 second. Can't be dropping this PS5 controller, man. It costs too much. And guess who I signed back, man, after the draft? I had let him go, but I really needed help at corner. Joe Hayden. And I got Joe Hayden playing inside. Why not? He ain't got no speed no more, so I stuck him inside. Then I signed Akilu Witherspoon. And he's the other corner, Justin Lane, James Pierre. Free safety, y'all already know, the man, Minka. But look who else I grabbed. Ifitu Malanfanwu.
Out
of Syracuse. Got him late too. But and then strong safeties, we got Terrell Edmonds. Did not pick up his 5th-year option. I did pick up Minka's. And Lonnie Johnson Jr. He's my backup. And then we got Chris Boswell and Tim Elam, whoever this is the punter. And there you have it. So the question is, guys, listening to that, would you guys prefer me to go ahead and keep this where it's at? And I'll tell you where I'm at. And I played all the way up to I'm about to start week 1. Y'all rather me do that and just bring the videos to you all, you know, pre-recorded like I always do, or maybe I can stream some of the games, I don't know. Or do y'all want me to do a live stream where we start from scratch? On stream, what I'll do is do the releases and the signings and the draft. And so I'll let you guys decide. For you all that tune into that type of thing.
Yo, check this out. I got my opinion on that.
Yes, sir. What you got?
Scrap all that.
Start from scratch. All right.
Look, man, this is what you do. I'm just gonna tell you. This is what you do, man.
Oh yeah. Listen to Kenya's opinions. I think I know where he's gonna go with this. This is an option too.
This how you do it. This how you do it, Sim. And you can pull this off on Madden. I've taken a 7-year Madden hiatus, but Sim has brought me back. I was done. I was happy playing Spider-Man. I was happy. Don't get me started. But I'm coming back. You know what I mean? I still don't have my PS5. When I get that, it's over because me and Sim is gonna connect. I just can't do it right now. You know what I mean? I'm still on my PS4, which sucks. But you can't find them, man. It's just horrible. You know what I mean? But what Sim should do is when he starts his season, scrap that, start his season, you put DeCastro on the block before the first preseason game. That's what you do. You put him on the block. You know what else you get rid of? And I hate to say this, I'm just keeping it 100. You can put Joe Hayden on the block. You can put Vince Williams on the block. Because basically what you're trying to do is acquire picks for next year. So you put DeCastro on the block before the preseason game when you first started. And then somebody will offer you a trade up that first game. Watch, when you go to the next game, you'll have trade people that want him. And so what you do is that's the better deal you'll get. Because think about it this way. He wouldn't have played. It will be going off of his last season, which was good. So his value goes up. So what happens is you'll get a better pick. You make those picks, and I like 2 of those draft picks. Tucker, if you want a guard, I can see that you making that move. But you can do it look, man, you get you a left tackle, you get you a tight end. You drafted a safety. I would have targeted Talanoa Hufanga.
I did.
I would have got him early. I would have just look, man. I would have made it. Because if you have multiple picks in certain rounds, You understand what I'm saying? Then you can make that. You can get him. You know what I'm saying? So
I gambled too. I almost got
Oh.
Sermon. Sermon was there in the second, and I was like,
should have did it.
And I said he'll be there in the third. Gone.
You should have did it. You know what I'm saying? You should have did it. You do that, and I'm telling you, Sam, you'll get all those players that you kind of want, that you target. You'll get them, and then you'll be all right. But I like most of those picks. Those picks are actually good. I like the O-lineman you got. I love both of them. I guess you could have got a center. I mean, since Pouncey was still there.
Pouncey's still there, yeah. I like this idea though, guys. I think I'm gonna take Kenyon's advice and do it like that, and I think it will be fun, man, to just do a stream. I wish I could lock in. I don't know, because I do so much with the family, you know, and it's. Right. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, and I think Debbie and Odessa and Lanisha, and if Sade hears this, y'all will appreciate this. And Tony knows this, because Tony has been a husband a long time and has his family as well. That's my family right there too. Tell baby girl I said what's up. Here's the thing, man. I spend time with my family, right? So it's hard for me to just. I still away on Tuesday, and we've been here tonight an hour and 45 minutes. So I ain't gonna turn around and stream again. You know what I mean? Like I just don't do that. Like I chill with wifey and the family until I ain't got nothing else going on. And sometimes the night runs long, and I'm chilling with the wife. We all adults here. Sometimes me and the wife gotta do it. You know, we gotta have some moments after the little man goes to bed. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying. Y'all asking me if I go stream? Come on now. Listen.
Nah.
I see y'all on Tuesday. You know,
exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to make it happen, man. And literally, it could be tonight. It could be if nothing's going on, and I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I'll definitely let everybody know.
You see, someone put down your safety on the chat.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Look, man. Look, let me tell you something, man. Let me tell people in the chat this. Look, I'm not one of those dudes, man. I don't like bringing up people, man, because you guys take it the wrong way. I just try to help you. I told people, but look, I say it like this. When was the first time I talked about Talon Hufanga? Both of you. When's the first time you heard me talk about him?
When he was
you're right, man.
Young. Yeah.
Yes.
When he was a freshman. When he was a freshman, I said it. I said, I just got to wait to see what he does. You know what I'm saying? And I just waited. And I didn't say anything. I just waited. I just took notes. I watched you. I see you. I've been to the game. I was at the Texas game. He was there. You know what I mean? So I saw him. So look, man, he's baby Troy. And this is the only thing I'll say about him in the draft. If I'm the Steelers, I'm taking that dude. I like Trey. I like Terrell Edmonds. Let me reemphasize what I said. You didn't hear me say the word love. You didn't see me here to say that I'm passionate about him. I like him. I know what he is. He is a box safety that is not a playmaker. Talon Hufanga is a box safety that is a playmaker. Yeah. And that's what I want. If you watch him on film, I encourage you guys to watch a game. Watch him. I sent a little highlight reel to Sim and Tony, and they already know. But the dude picks off balls. He makes fumbles. He's baby Troy. He's not Troy. Don't get it in your head that he's baby Troy. First of all, he's bigger than Troy. He's actually 6 feet. So he's bigger than Troy. But he's not as fast as Troy. But what he is the dude look, man, if I'm the Steelers, I'm taking him. If you put Minka and him together, Tomlin covers playmakers. Coburn and Tomlin cover that's all I'm saying. I'll leave it at that. But if you need help whenever you start, you can always text me. I'll tell you who to pick up. Free advice. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you who to get. Man. You know what I'm saying?
I think we'll do that. And I think
you my boy
has a good idea there. I mean, since we trying to do the next season anyway, I mean, I'm not going to be so strict and say, oh, no, I got to start after the play. I will start it fresh, put those guys on the block. We'll simulate through the season, and then start from there. And we'll do the whole off season and the draft and all that on stream. And there you go. So, yeah, that's what I'll do, man. So just be looking out for it. That's why you need to always do this, like I tell y'all, right there. Bam. Subscribe and cut on your notifications. So at least you know when any video I'm doing is live and it's ready to go. But other than that, man, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Tony, Kenyon, any last thing you want to say to the people before we shut it down?
Well, I would just say, hey, the one thing that came across my mind is when you were talking earlier about Ben Roethlisberger, um, we might be seeing some dark days, man, if we can't get it together. And that's the only thing. I hate to bring doom and gloom, but you guys remember Tom, Zach, Bubby Brister, Neil O'Donnell,
Turnover Tommy,
Slash, Slash, and before we got Roethlisberger. So it's very hard to get those type of quarterbacks. You see some of these teams getting these quarterbacks, and they had to stink for a couple of years to get them a quarterback. I mean, for us to get Roethlisberger, we were 6-10. I hope everybody remember that. We were 6-10 under Coward, and that's how we was able to get Heath Miller. That's how we was able to get Troy. Even though they went up to get Troy, though. But I just want to say, let's just be patient with our team and just see what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring things together. At least we can, have some type of hope just looking at what the O-line coach is trying to do.
Yeah.
And, we can just to hang on there and just let the process be the process and just hoping what our team's been doing over the last, years or so, decades or so. So that's all I have to say about that.
Yes,
yeah, for me, it's, look, I'm just glad we get to get here and get together and talk about Steelers stuff, and always appreciative. And I'm trying to blow Sim up even bigger, and it's fun. It's our first time doing camera. I'm not a big camera guy. I've done that enough in my other life, so I'm not really. Right. I kind of like not being seen, but it's it's always positive things, and we just trying to give you a little info, about what goes on, and try to give you guys a heads up on certain players and certain things that could be going on. And I don't subscribe to the theory that you can have dark days at quarterback like that anymore, because I think everything has been sped up. And an example to that would be, Patrick Mahomes was drafted, and that Kansas City team was a playoff team, or close to being a playoff team, and then they put Mahomes in, and they took off. You can get a quarterback now, and you get that quarterback, and you can take off that year. If you have every other thing in place, hey, you can start rolling. You know what I mean? It didn't take Lamar Jackson 3 years. I mean, they've already been playoff team. It didn't take it didn't take Baker Mayfield. It took Baker Mayfield this year 3? Come on, man. It don't take you that long no more. If you get the other
Allen
pieces
is
now.
A good example too.
Josh Allen is a great example.
Yeah, he
Second
was
year,
it up. Yeah,
come on, man.
It up early.
It's the way I look at it is that we have one thing I will say, we don't know who the quarterback is. You can only speculate. We don't know who that guy will be after, as we say, the new term, after AB. We don't know who that guy is going to be. We don't know who he is. You can speculate about people in the draft for next year. But the only player I've seen in the 2022 class that I would consider drafting is a kid out of North Carolina, because that dude is a stud. But if you to be honest, what if we're good? There's no way we get him. So you know what I mean? Like, quarterbacks go high.
Yeah,
it is what it is. So I'm not as down on it like that. I don't think we'll ever have dark days like what Tony's talking about, what we experienced. Me and Tony and people of our age have experienced the dark days. We know what it's like.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
you're right.
We won't experience that. Sim, it might be a year that we fall off, or whatever, but I don't think it'll be that long. So it's just, we got to find our next quarterback. We have an OC that we're excited about. We got pieces on defense, and look, it's going to be some hard choices in real life. And as Sim says it, when he starts his Madden stuff journey, you know what I mean? It's hard choices. Look, in both cases, I might get rid of Vince Williams. Look, man, I can roll with Spillane and Bush, and I can roll with with T gray scales, and I can just, as long as I survive, you know what I'm saying, I'm all right. So that's pretty much it. I'm just glad everybody come. We happy to be here. We love it. I know somebody in the chat just put Antoine. Antoine's all on the quarterback. He got to put his quarterback shout outs in every week. It's always a quarterback. So he's talking about kid Riddler from Cincinnati. He's a good player. He's not great to me. He's just good. So just because you run RPO, I'm not looking at you like that. I got to see other stuff. And I like him, but he'd have to show me a little bit more. So he's on the radar. I know about him, Antoine. I know about him. He's on the radar. So we'll see. But that's pretty much it. And we'll see you next time.
I thought you were doing this.
He done came and got me.
Well, he let me do it one day.
What?
That guy.
All right, guys. So that's the show. I told you. He got a time clock. He know if it's too long, here you go. Say, what's up?
What's up?
Say, what y'all doing?
What y'all doing?
Why you acting like that? You're not even shy.
Hey, Tony.
What's up? What's up, man?
Where Rachel at?
You heard what he said?
Yeah, I heard him. She upstairs. I'm going to let her know you.
Listen, that's your family. You know that? Even if you was old enough, that's your family.
I don't even know who that is.
That's Kenyon. You hear me talk about Kenyon?
What's up? How you doing? Nice to meet you.
All right, I'm about to be done. All right, guys. So that's it. This is what I do, man. So sometimes if I'm late to the show or whatever, family first, man. I don't do this for a living, but appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll catch y'all next week. And I definitely want to do more of these, man. I want to do more of the steel tables. I like this format. So when we got something to talk about, we'll bring it back to y'all. But other than that, y'all know the routine. Subscribe, cut on your notifications, hit the like button. Stay safe. God bless. And good night.
Hold on, let me say something. All of you guys, you better subscribe.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Better subscribe.
There you go.
All right, we'll end on that.